Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pools. This will be my first playthrough of Pools. I am not sure what this is. It's gonna have pools, I presume. We're gonna be walking through it. The trailer doesn't say much. It's horror-ish. There's a good chance it's just gonna be 2 hours of me walking through pools. If not more, I'm excited. Let's go see what's up. It's already sounding like we are getting dressed up to go into a pool. That was a play button there. And we are off. We are lying down on the floor of a pool, as does happen. Oh, we've fallen down the ladder into the pool area. Oftentimes, of course, pools lead directly into the sewers, and that's why we've got this going on. I will say, from the get-go, already some of the most unusual movement I've ever experienced in a game. Loud sounds of breathing as we sit down in this garden chair, which I found randomly laying down. Very good. There is 16 achievements to this. I did not check what they were, but I assume we'll probably get them all fairly naturally. And I suppose it's about time that we get into a pool. The water looks lovely. There is an effect to being in the pool, so that is also great. One thing that was pointed out to me recently, that there's a lot of games where you don't really have cool ripple effects when you walk into water. I will say, an obvious thing that I don't have is a jump button, so tis what it is. Yeah, this is every step I take, you just have to sort of assume I'm playing with ice physics turned on. And that's okay. We're in the pool after all. We're gonna be a little bit slippery. Apparently we were working man's boots, so it is what it is. I don't think I have a crouch button. I don't think I have a dive button. I am trying out basically every button I have available to me. But so far, it is largely just walking through pools, and I can respect that. Sound design. What is happening here? Like, I'm hearing some sort of a breathing sound. I'm not sure if that's me. I think it could feasibly be. But that's probably fine. I want to see what's down the stairs here, because there was some stairs down here at the start, and I kind of want to get through that before we go all the way around the area. If I could jump, I suppose I could probably grab this ladder and just leave again. Oh, it is breathing sounds, yeah. But I guess that might just be the character. Because it happens every time I stand still. I just start loudly breathing. Yeah, alright, fair enough. Is it every time I... No, not here, though. Do I just breathe upstairs? Oh, good. That's probably fine. There is, for all you sound enjoyers out there, there is a... Oh no, I am breathing here as well. But it's just sort of around me. Jesus. Alright. Well, there is a barefoot mode. You obviously can't see yourself, but just for the sound design, it could make you feel more immersed in the pool experience. I hate the breathing, I'll tell you that much. So I think if I also add bare feet mode with it, I'm probably gonna lose my mind fully. That's fair enough. God, I hate the breathing actually so much. But that's, you know, we can't run here, so we'll just make sure we follow the rules. God, it is uncanny though, isn't it? There's no music, it's just awful, awful sounds. Before I go further into the darkness, I guess you can just go multiple paths, and I'm guessing they eventually converge. God, there's so much sound. And I get that that's kind of the point of the game, jeez. Visually, though, very attractive, very nice. I do leave some wet footprints after the first step, but I'm wearing those hydrophobic boots where all the water just comes off in one big gulp, so you don't get to see too much of that. Let's just keep moving on, though. Ooh. Oh, no, I still had a drip of water here. I'm leaving a trail. At least that way I can more easily see where I came from, I suppose, so that's good. It's so eerie. If there's even one jump scare in this, I'm going to scream. But, you know, there might not be. There is a decent chance that it's just going to be walking. I genuinely thought that was a QR code on the wall there, but I think it's just art. Or a map? Oh, it might actually be a map, yeah. What's the... Is it like F12? Yeah, it is. Just taking a picture of that for future reference. I'm not going to be able to read this as a map, I'll tell you that much, because I get that there's a start/end there. And reasonably speaking, if we follow the left wall, there's a like 90% chance we're on an island. So that's good. I can't really tell what the staircase is, so all in all, it's just great. Just good stuff. We're just gonna be walking around here for a while. Ah. Okay, so that did lead back into itself, I suppose. So we've basically done a large circle. Assuming that is the start. Should have walked through this door even slightly before going all the way back to where I came from. It would have also been a good idea to take a bit more note of where I came from, but I'm fairly sure I have to go this way. Now, I will say... Oh god, what is that? Is that the chair icon? There's a slide. I will say... It's one of the quietest pools I've ever had the, I would say, lack of pleasure to experience. I suppose... Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, I suppose, but... The thing... It's sort of unavoidable to not have people around you during pools. At least that's my experience with any sort of pool situation I've ever been in, where a full lack of people was rare, and that was in a relatively small town, I would say, where admittedly we only had sort of the one big pool that was accessible, I suppose. But to have a pool with no people, that's like a dream come true, because generally speaking, the chance of no people seems like a definite zero, and the chance of too many people in the pool was sort of a constant factor in any pool experience that I've ever had. And I will also say that any pool experience where there wasn't a lot of people was generally preferable. Having said that, the pools are generally laid out a little bit different. I feel like this is not laid out for consumer. This is more laid out as a treacherous little area where you can go into the dark. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is good. I'm being pushed back, so this might be the end of a slide. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna try that again. I'm a little actually... Heard the ominous bellowing. Alright, good. Can I hear it again? Seemingly not. Alright. Well, I heard an ominous bellowing by going into the dark. And I got an achievement for it, so you know it's real. If it was just a sound effect and no achievement, then obviously I wouldn't have had the full horror experience. So I'm very glad that that we got into there. Heard someone play a trumpet through a black hole. I have been here before because I can tell from the footprints. Okay, that is actually kind of useful. That does stay around, and that this place is wet enough for such an experience. I'm sort of surprised, I guess. The lack of a jump button is like the most obvious thing to me. That is, well, that and a dive. There's two situations that I have yet to experience in the pool, which is being underwater and being slightly above water to do the big splash. Which I would say is also pretty important pool experiences to add to your pools game, but I'm not the grand leader of pool making games. There is a ladder there. Alright, cool. Yep, great. That ladder's gone, so that we'll just not have to worry about that one. We're never gonna get out of here, are we? It's just the whole situation of being slightly eerie the entire time. I'm a bit worried that we're gonna have to get into this pool, and the main reason I'm saying I'm worried is that I have to walk all the way around, and I'm just not really feeling it. Yeah, we have to walk all the way around. I heard a sound. Oh no, we don't have to walk. Who's clicking? I don't know if people are putting the ladder back just for like a future like prop to your little pool horror. I will say again, if there's even like one monster in this, I'm going to cry. But it's such a good place to put a monster in though, you know? Like, look at this. This is oppressive. Like, you could just put a blah, and then everyone would be leaving an instant negative review. That's the thing though. The reviews for this are very positive, and I get that, because this is giving me a vibe that I have not had in a bit. And you don't need to put a monster in this. I'll agree to that. But my god, would it be effective at this point in my life? But again, it's unusual that I'm not swimming at any point. We're playing the pool person, and this is the one person that wouldn't make a single swimming motion if their life depended on it. Do you consider how much easier it would be to walk through this place if you just tried to swim once? Can I sit in this chair? Seemingly not. Can I look at the other chair whilst contemplating the chair that is sat down? Take a deep breath. Lovely. Alright. There's an achievement for all chairs. You know I'm getting it. Definitely a lie. There's no chance I'm going to get the all chairs achievement, because I'd need to actually fully think about where I'm going at all times, I feel. This is nice though. Little pool. It still says we can't run, and I'll let you know. There is a setting for either just pressing the run button once or holding it, and I've been holding that and not letting go the entire game. Probably should have just put it on press, because I have no intention of letting go of the run button. That is where the ladder was just removed, so let's just see if this leads anywhere. I need a better way to remember where I've been, because I feel like this might take a while otherwise. This is cool. Oh, with the diving board as well. That is lovely. I mean, that's definitely the obvious choice, but we should look around. Before I do the most obvious thing ever put in a video game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've been here. I desperately I want to do it so bad, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let me just look around a little bit. There is a big slide here, though. Ooh, and that seems to lead to the big slide. Oh, I desperately want to jump down there, though, but I'll remember where it is, surely. Let's just check if this does indeed lead to the slide, because, like, look at it. It's majestic. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be the best slide experience of our lives. Obviously, it looks like a dead end, but you got to keep trying to see if there's a moment where you just suddenly dive down, you know? Oh, it feels like I'm walking through mud. At no point have I felt that I'm walking through water. It sounds like I'm walking through a big pool of mud. Oh, the chair is placed haphazardly as well. Just lovely. I just want to go on the slide, though. Oh, a clock. It does not line up with my Windows time. But it makes a fun ticking noise. Let's see what happens when it reaches 6 o'clock. I've lost interest. To the point where I might not even leave the full clock experience into the video. And you'll have missed out on something. Yeah, alright. So I still haven't jumped down. I think that's here, right? Yeah. So I don't know who just went. But we'll get to that. I don't want to look for the slide anymore, so we're gonna go with the obvious choice. Ooh, listen to that. Like, imagine if you could jump here, though. Like, do a bit of an uppy down, and then whoop. Oh. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Does this like the you've died, go back kind of thing? Ah. Fair enough. Okay. Then we're going back there. We're looking for that slide. We're going to find this slide. Maybe. We're going to look for the slide. We're going to make an attempt at the slide. There were some stairs earlier. I think I've taken a wrong turn. Pog. Let's... Obviously. I'm talking about the duck's face, not my own expression upon finding this. Can I interact with you in any way? Please. You have such reflections for a duck that is not in water. So, I can't interact with it, seemingly. I've tried an amount of buttons. I actually don't know if there's like a... Yeah, it just says run input. I don't think there's a place that has like controls. I turned the crosshair on because I feel like it makes me feel more at ease. Don't ask me what that says about me. So, the main thing I'm expecting is that I turn around and suddenly the duck is right behind me. I think that would be great. Alternatively, it might just be a duck. Maybe I don't know what to expect from this game, but it's been in the back of my mind for months. Ever since first laying eyes on the game pools on the Steam store, it has been on my mind forever. Cause it fascinates me, and I wanna just have a go at it. But I wish you could jump, I wish you could swim, I wish you could pet the duck or something. Because, look at him. Look at his big face with the big eyes on the side. His face is yelling pog. There's potential. Potential for a sequel. Ooh, there is a slide entrance here. It's the red slide, though. And I was looking for the blue slide, so I don't think we're gonna go into this. I mean, obviously we're going into the slide. It's the only correct decision. I have a question about this slide. So maybe I'm spoiled. But any slide in the pool I've been on has flowing water in it. And that's, I think, partially to stop pileups. They would still happen, obviously. But that wasn't the best slide. I mean, there's 6 chapters to this somehow, so... Maybe this is like beginner slide for babies, and we're on our way to Big Daddy slide. We'll see, I suppose. We'll just keep walking. This actually looks very similar to I want to say the sewers from Resident Evil 2 is sort of what this gives me a vibe of. Like if there was a big spider crawling at the top of the ceiling, then I'd be like, yeah, I'd require a shotgun to get through this situation, probably. Or just walk. But definitely a shotgun would assist the process. It also, there was this Doom map that came out. There's a hissing sound here. You know what that means. There's a Doom map that came out called My House. And it also had horror vibes. And I think there was also a pool area. And it kind of reminds me of that, but also that might just be sort of generic pool area. Is this what the map was that I took a screenshot of earlier? Because suddenly I'm starting to see the Matrix and realize that I might need to go to like the top right corner of this, probably a maze. I think that adds up. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you make us scary. Oh, briefly terrified, and then you realize it's the friend we made along the way. Oh, that's lovely. We're taking you with me. I don't even care if you're a monster. You're coming with me. Apparently I can push him. Your name will be Steven and my best friend. I pushed you into a wall. Right, so if I want to show off the screenshot of the map I took, I need to put effort into it, and I don't particularly feel like it. So I'm hoping... Come on, ducky. Like, the movement in this is spectacular. This is, I've been very critical of the movement in this game so far, but the movement of this duck is lifelike. Unfortunately, we're playing a protagonist without arms, so there is some limits to this, and also, yeah, this is just a very tiny area. And I may have gotten my duck stuck, so that's not great either. Unless I can sort of push him in the back here. I can, yeah. Alright, fair enough. We're gonna... I mean, that's gotta be the exit, right? Yeah. So this is definitely what the map was alluding to, I guess. And into the light we go. I don't know if this was where we came from. I don't think it is, because I feel like I would remember this hallway. The fact that these are lamps is insane. I don't think I've ever seen lamps like this before. Also, that noise is fairly horrendous. But that's fine. God, what a good way to introduce the duck as a character, though. Like, it's my footsteps. Alright, good. I'm a little curious, because the thing is, it's in beta, and I'm just not even sure... That does sound weird. I don't know what those are, but they are not human feet. Walking around with my big bear paws. Stomping my way through life. Somehow in beta. There you go. Oh, I hate this. There's a ladder up there. Ah, the lights get so loud when you sit down, though. But for my old chair speedrun, this is obviously very important. Yeah, God, it is... God, well done. That's wonderful sound design. Big fan. How do I get up there, though? I need significantly more water in this place. Is there a button on this thing that I can press to make the ladder go down so I can climb up this pillar onto the diving board? I guess I don't really need to be up there. And if I would jump down from there, I feel like it would just do the old rewind functionality once again, so... I don't know what to expect from that, really. I'm also realizing that all the games I've been playing lately are games where I walk around weirdly oppressive hallways the entire time. But I think that's just who I've become now. I'm more of an oppressive hallways kind of guy now, and I hope everyone's okay with that. It's so loud. Alright, down we go. Off the diving board. To our new life. I win! I completed chapter 1. Did we get to pick chapter 2 or does it automatically go onwards? Onwards to chapter 2 immediately. That is lovely. We found one extra achievement in chapter 1 and that'll just have to do. We have lovely tile work. Look at the use of colors. I think this is the only door we have, so we're just gonna keep going. Yep, just normal sounds in your average day pool. We've got a green slide this time. We didn't go into the blue slide. Ah, that's actually annoying. Because there was a staircase that I didn't go up in the middle of one of the pools. I found an invisible wall in my pools game. That's surprising. And but yeah, I feel like that staircase probably would have led to the other slide. So that's a missed opportunity right there. But if you want to experience the blue slide, it's on Steam right now. Yeah, we're gonna keep going. I kind of had in the back of my mind, I'll play this for like 2 hours, and then whatever has happened at that point, that'll be it. But now I kind of want to see this through. I think there's a very real likelihood of there not being an actual monster in this. Except maybe the duck. But we've already befriended the duck, so I think it's unlikely. There's a big staircase here, though. So that's exciting. I was hearing noises and I was trying to stand still to figure out what it is, and I think every time I'm confused by noise, it is just largely me walking. And also, every time I think I see a hallway, it's actually just a rendering error, because it sort of renders things weirdly. When I walk around things, there's like these little shadows, and I keep thinking they're doors or whatever, and they're not. So that's my bad. I wonder what a speedrun of this would look like. I mean, it would just be walking, I suppose. There's only so many buttons you can press. But there must be like a quickest route to get through this. I think we can all agree we're never going to reach this, so we'll just leave that one alone. Oh, this is horrendous. I don't particularly want to go in there, but there is something there. I think it's just one of those things that sucks up the water. But it looks like it's not quite on the wall. Alright, we're going. I mean, it's so dark. It might also just be like yeah, this is bobbing up and down. Good. Alright, what are you? Oh, it's another little duck. Alright, yeah, well played, game. It genuinely might be invisible in the video, but it was a very small duck. Good. I had to know. It looked like it was bobbing up and down. You're obviously... I have to know what's there. What if it was another friend? And it was. It was a duck called Fleven. Not very good with names. Once you hit Steven, that's sort of where I peak, and then from there it's very much downhill. Very quickly. That's okay. If they wanted the ducks to have names, they would have given them the names themselves. Probably. Alright, so we got something normal going on. That's nice. We got the triangle room, the circle room, and then we have just the nothing. If we were to go forward. I'm tempted by nothing, but also I'm not that tempted by nothing. It's just yeah, let's save nothing for later, because I feel like going with symbols is going to be easier to remember where I came from. And nothing. There's a lot of that going around here. The red slide might be here. It obviously just ends in the void. But there should be a spiral staircase to bring me back up there again, so that's nice. I just need to... This place is wild. This is some very normal pool design. where I really feel like I know where I'm going. They should use some more signs. There was an exit sign at one point. But I think if you were to look for an emergency exit, you'd be walking around for a while. I'm obviously immediately distracted from the red slide by wherever I've ended up now. But I didn't immediately see a way to get there, so we're just gonna keep on walking until we find our way into anything sort of slide related. I forget, I've genuinely already forgotten what the color was of the first slide we saw here, so we're gonna go into the yellow one and hope it doesn't take me all the way back to the start. That was a more exciting slide than the 15-minute slide we went on the first time, so that's good. I will say, this is gonna take forever. I have not been paying that close attention to where I've been going. So, yeah, this is gonna take a minute. Do we get a fun bellow every time we go into the darkness, or just that one time? I walk backwards just so I can see if I'm still moving. And, yeah, I guess we just get the bellow once, yeah? If I just keep walking forward into the darkness, does that change anything? Well, after a while you just start walking. I mean, so far, the first pitch black tunnel, pretty exciting. The other ones that we've seen so far, they're lacking in creativity. I want to hear more fun bellows so I can cry. But instead, I have been given nothing. 0 stars. Yellow slide was still pretty good. 2 stars. That's my review of that room. We're going on. I want more ladder shenanigans. That would be fun as well. I'm not sure what I want. I guess for the most part, I just kind of want to be walking around pools, and I am getting that. Is this anything? Is this lead anywhere? Is it just dark? I think it's just dark. Yeah, that's nothing. God, I wish we had a building like this that was just filled to the brim with this many pools, though. Let me reiterate that. I wouldn't mind a building similar to this. And when I say reiterate, I mean say it completely different. I wouldn't mind a building with pools. Wasn't there a movie that looked like this? That this exact shot happened in? I'm fairly sure there was. I wouldn't. I just want a building with a pool to myself. You know, I want a swimming pool that I don't have to maintain. But they're expensive. So that's probably not going to happen. And also, having to not maintain it is probably... Oh, he's looking. Yeah, the maintenance is probably the reason why there's not that many swimming pools in general. Eh? Because it's kind of a pain in the butt to maintain a swimming pool. Can we get there? Oh, that would be so cool. I mean, obviously we're not going to be able to go there, but... Can you imagine though? That would be such a cool place to swing. I desperately want to go to the room with the several ducks, because, I mean, only good things could be there, surely. And this reeks. This reeks. That place reeks. We're going to the duck place. I've decided. I'm taking a creative decision to go to the place with at least 2 ducks. Because so far, we've only experienced a singular duck, and I think 2 ducks is going to elevate it. We can jump down. Excellent room. Oh, well, there we go. I guess this goes down. We died in the duck room? Are you serious? Of all the places. Oh, we can ride the duck. Can we reach that duck, do you think? I mean, I'm gonna go with almost certainly not. God, can you imagine dying in the duck room? That's the saddest way to go. I'm sorry, my duck friends. It turns out I cannot be with you as you are floating above a pit of death. So, we're just gonna keep going. Fair enough for going into the stinky room. It's not where I wanted to go, but it's what the game has given me this day. maybe it's not that stinky. I mean, I can smell the chloride coming through the screen, but beyond, it's a different type of stinky, I suppose, you know? Because with chloride, you know what you're... Well, there's a specific pool smell, I suppose, and I think everyone sort of knows what the smell is. And everyone sort of also knows what the substance is that creates that smell. It's largely water and chlorine. And then just disgusting people. And that creates like a particular genre of smell. That does remind me of pools most times. That's cool. This reminds me of me when I was 15 years old at the pool. And I think I went there with my mom, and I was like, hey, check this out. And I fully dove face first into the floor and broke my 2 front teeth. And that's briefly what I looked like afterwards. Weirdly pool related, but yeah, that's the kind of face you make when you break your front teeth at the pool, I can tell you that much. I don't know if this is gonna make me fall. No. It's a reflective surface. That's nice. Don't know what kind of surface that is, but it excites me. But yeah, it's nice that they made a statue out of that event. I didn't know that many people were present to see that happen, but I guess at least one person with sculpting skills was available at the time, so, you know. That's nice. So jumping down here feels like a mistake. But also it sort of brings me to a dead end, so it's not like the worst mistake. What is that? I guess there's multiple paths you can take to get here, ultimately. There's a duck there. Important to note. I mean, I've genuinely... Good lord, what is that? Who put a ghost bubble in the middle of my staircase? I wasn't ready for a bubbly. Not the beverage, not sponsored. Oh, that actually caught me so off guard. It wasn't even anything. It was just like sort of a particle effect. It was enough, I'll tell you that much. Alright. Let's go look at whatever this is. I think it's just circles. Alright, cool. We've experienced circles. I'm just, at this point, I'm making sure to check anything in case it's accidentally the map of a maze I'm gonna find in 20 minutes. Because at least knowing where the exit is kind of useful for a maze. What was I talking about? I was saying I kind of forgot which symbol I entered. I specifically entered one of the symbols. I think it was the one on the left. And I'm guessing both, whatever symbol I took, middle, and the other one, all lead to this place eventually. So I'm kind of curious what the other doors were, but definitely not enough to go through it again. Anyway. This will be a good walk for a minute, I think. I'm sure nothing's going to happen. There's a lot of chairs. Which makes me curious what kind of sounds we're going to experience. Ooh. What song is this? I believe the song is called... I hope I'm not going to get a copyright infringement for this. That's what most songs are called when you watch a YouTube video. That is lovely, though. Finally, we've reached the smooth jazz section of pools. I'm gonna go close to that speaker, because I'm kind of into it. I'm not gonna go in every chair, I'm sorry. I said I was gonna do an all-chair speedrun, and I lied. I'm not sure if you can even sit in this one. Oh, that sounds good. Get in there. Oh, yeah! So, genuine question. If you were to somehow get a lawn chair strapped to the bottom of a pool without it floating, would it make that creaking sound? I feel like that's almost impossible. gonna just sit down just one more time, just look at the lamp. Have it be like max volume before we move on. That's ASMR right there. Moving on. Very nice addition. Very kind of short loop, but it works. I enjoyed it. Hope everyone else did too. It's very unusual, this, isn't it? Like, it's got the very, like, obvious sort of backdoorsy, liminal space kind of vibes going on. You have to say that at least once in this video, or while playing this game, because otherwise you don't acknowledge back rooms and then people will get mad at you. But it's been thoroughly acknowledged now. But it's such a wild experience. So when I'm sitting down, it actually does sort of move my cursor on its own a little bit. Maybe if only just to let me hear the noise from a specific direction. Maybe it's like specifically these chairs. Maybe it was just... It's not really... I guess... I'm not sure. Because if I move it all the way up, then it will automatically move it back down again. And I think if I try to spin around like a fool, it will try to sort of make my head move in a normal way until I just start spinning wildly, and then it just sort of becomes a break dancer. But... Oh, lovely reflections though. Look at that. It's like the chair is there. I'm not, but the chair is, and that's gotta count for something. Is there, can I see the other chairs here? That's kind of an interesting reflection, actually, because this almost implies that it's actually reflecting the room. Which I'm not really... I don't think I have RTX on, so I don't think that's real. But it's unusual. It's an unusual reflection. It's not something I would have expected in that sense, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, obviously I'm gonna go on the slide, but I just wanted to check out the room first. Because every time I found a slide, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go onto the slide and follow the obvious path. It never leads to the actual slide. So I'm just gonna at least acknowledge the room where it leads before inevitably not going on this slide again and ruining my life. Which has been the actual result of all the other slides so far. And I disrespect it. I just don't care for it. I think that's mean. I think there's death waiting in these halls. This is not safe. This is dangerous. Where's the handrail? Someone could fall. I was ready for that to take me to chapter 3 and me ruining a slide once again. At the same time, it kind of makes sense that that would just be a random hole leading to chapter 3, I guess. So fair enough. I guess another reason why these things usually have water is so you don't come out with all your skin missing. Because this feels like, especially if you're like a bit wet. Ooh, we go far though. I feel like that would tear off the skin of many a child. And that is not what those slides are about. Having said that, having gaping holes in the midst of your rooms, I would have fallen down. I would have fallen into the abyss. And try getting someone out of the abyss. It's tricky. It's actually quite tricky to get out of the abyss specifically. We could go further down, but I'm actually not really feeling it right now. Let's go to this direction instead, where it's just sort of a pillar. Ooh, a donut. It's like half a duck. Ooh! Oh, if that takes me all the way back to the start, though, that's gonna be very annoying. Let's just quickly acknowledge the donut. Let's see if we can get out of the water. The staircase is right there, so at least give it a shot. Into the wall. I've done physics before. You can tell me this won't work. Video game physics have taught me that if you just move it into two separate surfaces and sort of wiggle it a bit, it's going to clip and then just sort of start flying all over the place. I've played video games before. This is how all video games work. This is obviously just a wall, so you can just push it a little bit. Oh yeah! Move the donut. Ready to roll. Yes! Come with me, donut. We have adventures to go on. That could be a problem. Yep, now it's just a staircase. Alright, well, I had a good time. I hope everyone else did as well. We're going into the, the worst slide. Oh, it's very dark. We have completed chapter 2. There was more down those stairs going into the deep dark abyss. I'm not experiencing it. I'm not gonna walk all the way back there. Do you know how far away that is? Jeez. We're not dealing with that whatsoever. We're moving on. Every chapter so far has taken about 20 minutes. It's still very much in my 2-hour estimate that I had for this game, which I based on nothing. So, so far so good. Obviously, if there's going to be a sequence where there's going to be more than just walking, there's a chance it's gonna all fall apart. This is certainly a hallway. That's such a good idea for a hallway in like sort of a horror game as well. Just make it get thinner and thinner. I'm sort of assuming the other direction is a dead end, but at this point I'm not really sure. The design of this place is a little uncanny and unusual, to say the least. This is lovely. There's a donut. This is like an aquarium, but instead of fish they have donuts. Which arguably is a much kinder aquarium for the animals. Assuming donuts don't have feelings. I guess I don't really know donut anatomy. And I don't know if they would experience pain the same way a human would. So it's hard to say. I think... Hang on. I think I prefer, in this situation, to have a donut over a fish. But I'm also not, like, particularly hungry. And I do think that is going to make a difference in my choices on the matter. So that's why I'm taking all the donuts out of the water, because I feel like if I get into a point where I have to eat one of these donuts, I'm going to be fed for a while. And with a fish, you know what they say, like you give someone a fish and they'll have to pick all the bones out. And that's a lot of work. Donuts generally don't have bones. And that's why people love donuts, because it's just like a more boneless experience, and I think that's what the people need sometimes. So we got several directions we can go into. Let's go into here first. Another 2 donuts? You are spoiling me. Is this a death room? It can be a bit difficult to tell how deep the water is, and I've learned not to trust ducks after my previous experience with a duck murdering me. But donuts have not yet to betray me. Alright, I've gotten several of the donuts to safety, so that's good. We gotta leave one of the donuts in the water so they can multiply, but beyond that, it's good to get a couple donuts out which we can use for recreational use. With that though, we can move on. Down the stairs. Through the rest of the pool. I haven't really, you know what? Ooh, a sauna. My character's become real sweaty with this hot rock. It's made my entire screen wet. Unfortunately, I don't have a big spoon with which I can pour water on hot rock, but I am very sweaty. Were I now in Finland, I'd start a conversation, I'm sure. Unfortunately, I am not, so I will simply keep my wet face moving. I am sort of impressed that we've managed to keep most of our face dry until we've reached the Sada. But I think it's safe to say we're not playing as a human. I think that's a safe assumption. That's the sort of assumption that, like, the chair is at a reflection, we don't, so we're at least a vampire, but we're also walking through... I was gonna say we're walking through water, but I'm not I don't actually remember if it's just water that's bad or if it has to be like a flowing river. Oh, toilet, that's nice. I mean, I don't know why you need a toilet. We've got a real big one all over the place where we're walking, am I right? Can I flush it? I can do little with the toilet. If anything. I can check over there. Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, like, I feel like whatever you do with this toilet, it's just going to overflow into the rest of the room. So I'm not sure if having a toilet would really make that much of a difference. Especially in a swimming pool. I've sort of vaguely referenced it in the past when I was talking about the smell of chloride and other materials, and I feel like the toilet is a good representation of one of the smells. I think there's a lot of instances where I'm like, I could walk all the way over there, but there's like a 90% chance nothing is going to happen. I'm just not really feeling like walking all the way there just to have walked down a hallway, you know? Okay, we got options. We got red slide, obvious beginning and end. We have green slide with a little bit of mystery. And then we have stairs, which have ruined the green slide experience a little bit. But I'm curious how I'm going to slam my face into the wall once I've gone down the green slide. So we've got that looking forward to. Alright, let's, yep. The soft sounds of fabric going through. Green slide right into the wall. The water does stop movement pretty well. I think water is fairly famous for being able to stop, like, bullets and things from moving forward. Having said that, I still haven't seen many pool slides go directly into a wall. What is that? We're going back down again. We're just gonna check that out from, oh, just one of the statues, I think. Just hanging out. Alright, that's fine. I'm sure that's not going to be an issue later. Was he there all this time? I didn't actually notice him when I was looking through the room here earlier. I guess, yeah, you would miss it. Just barely. Sort of sitting down? Yeah. Can't click him. Alright, well. That's probably fine. That's probably nothing, am I right? They all kind of lead to walls. Again, maybe I'm spoiled by the slides of my past, but the main sort of slide I remember sort of went into an open area that would then sort of have sort of a ramp going up, you know? These would be frequently next to the sauna, as you'd have the really cold baths that you would be able to get into. Although they weren't always cold. I think there would also just sometimes be hot bubble baths instead. I've had very little pool experiences. I'm starting to realize I'm just very much describing one specific pool. And, very small amount of ducks in there in general, I will say that. Which is weird. I guess I've never actually... I don't know if I've ever seen a duck in a swimming pool before. But I feel like generally it wasn't advisable to bring toys into sort of a public swimming pool. It would be just sort of a recipe to lose your toy. Especially if you, like, reach a wave pool or something. Like, you would never get away with bringing your own duck in there. It would instantly disappear into the void and then a child would steal it. Alright, so we have what seems like a changing room. Yep. Sorry. Oh, never mind. It's a toilet. I know where I am. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Also can't use this toilet. Can you calm down? Alright, we got a lot of... These might actually be changing rooms. They got different levels of how hard you can smash the door into the wall, so that's good. They've really thought of everything. Surprising toilet, I'll say that much. Didn't expect this one. Also, I'm struggling to get physics to video game physics. That's looking more like it. Like once I'm actually sort of clipping into the door, it's certainly trying a bit harder to be silly. Like this is sort of what I'm looking for. If I can just sort of get this door to clip into the wall and just crash the game, that would be lovely. There was a game, that was not a game, there was a series called Alice in Borderlands, where the characters would go into a room like that. And it was kind of sort of a Narnia situation. I'm not really getting that kind of vibe from it. That's not where I thought the red pool was, red slide was gonna go. I thought we saw the end of the red slide. Ah, that's fine. I'm gonna take the blue donut, I think. Because I think that would help me out on my journey. Blue means water. And that's like a good vibe to have for this game. To be ready for water. There we go. Get you up there. Up the stairs, maybe? It's gonna take some flipping and flopping, but I think we can get it there. Oh, if we could get it into that pool, that would be wonderful. But I think we'd really need to get it on its side. And that's kind of tricky, because then you're actually actively just fighting game physics, and then you reach this situation, yeah. Ah, well. Moving on. Oh. Oh, I thought I heard a shower. I think I am. Or am I hearing a sauna again? Oh, I am hearing a sauna again. We've reached another sauna. Can I get next to the big rock? Can I climb on this edge? Let me just break this game. I mean, so far we've done a lot of walking, and I haven't really tried breaking things beyond the doors. Oh, there's a door here as well. Going into another sauna. Good. All the more chance to get next to rock. I don't think you should step on these rocks, because I think they're just coals. Like you pour the water on the coals and then sort of get that going on. I didn't expect saunas though, so that's exciting. I'm happy that this game is sort of going through all the various pools that you have. Obviously we're going through the hallway of haunted men. That's just sort of your standard pool experience, yeah. There's always a hallway of haunted men. With another toilet in the middle, of course. Another one, yeah. Famously, they use haunted men to fill the pools with their liquids. Because they've got so much ghost in them, you know? This would also be a pretty cool slide, I think. But, ooh, if this is gonna have gravity effects, that is exciting. Ooh! It finally happened! We finally got a game with cool gravity. And it's pools! Like, you gotta get through a couple rooms. And you have to walk through a hallway of haunted men. But we're finally getting the gravity effects that we saw in Serious Sam 2001. Oh my god. After all these years. Who knew? Someone would have the thought. Hey, remember those gravity effects? Those are pretty cool. Also, a slide leading into a stone floor. That's pretty rough. Especially if you then hear someone else walking. Very mean. Very cool. God, finally though. Yep, Escher, classic. That's just your standard pool. I heard a pronunciation of MC Escher the other day, and I remember being just flabbergasted because it was incredible. And now I'm kind of curious how people pronounce MC Escher. Because as a person who's experienced the Netherlands in some way for a decent amount of time in their life, you get sort of taught how to pronounce names like Van Gogh and Escher and stuff like that, and I'm not sure how much of that translates to the outside world. Also, this is a fairly unusual room, but we've all been here. I don't think we've ever been there, but we've been here for sure. But yeah, I kind of wonder how, like, some of those names get so disjointed. And then you have a lot of people claiming that you say, like, Van Gogh. It's a very popular thing in sort of American cinema, I think, that it's pronounced Van Gogh, which is wrong. But it's sort of the accepted English pronunciation, I guess. And I guess I wonder how many other names like that would be out there. How many people say Rembrandt? Probably few. I think many people just say Rembrandt, which is fair because it does sound more usual. I don't really say my given name the way I would say in the Netherlands in the outside world either. You say it slightly different to have it give it more of an English pronunciation, but I don't know if that's just given to make it a bit easier for the people you're speaking to. I'm acknowledging these hallways to an extent, but also it is just a long sequence of hallways. And there's still like at least like 90% of me is ready for just the random jump scare to end the game. I think it would be sort of incredible if the game just ends at chapter 4 by a jump scare of just a guy going boo. What would be the pool equivalent of boo? Can you add a word? Can you say pool and then just the game ends? But because I feel like that would be too easily mistaken for like the game, you know, the ball game with the sticks called pool. This is a very non-pool like area. I'd like to get out of here immediately. This is nothing like the pool. This is not pool based. This is just back room. Oh god, this is gonna take a minute. I don't know where to go in this place. I don't have any haunted men to guide me, but I think this might actually just be the exit. Never mind. Visually, though, lovely. I think there's certainly something to say about this game, but I think it's visually astonishing. I really appreciate it. Don't know if I'm still... Oh, sorry, we're just squeezing through this piece of rubber that I found. We've completed chapter 3. We've reached the rubber dimension. Am I in a casket? I'm actually... Oh, no, it's the wood dimension. I don't know how I made that rubber sound then. I'm gonna say we came from there. We pushed ourselves through some wood. Yep. Here's another spooky creature. But it's also a hallway, I guess, so we're just gonna slide on through there. We have what looks like the symbol for a bathroom, but it might also just be two separate sources of light. Ooh, I like the colors there. I don't know why there's continuous, like, gas monsters farting in my face, but I don't really appreciate it that much. I think of all the areas where I wouldn't like to be farted in my face, I feel like a pool is, like, one of the top areas. Admittedly, I could just dive, usually. Did something change in this room? But this game doesn't have a dive button, so I can't exactly just dive on the floor to avoid the stench bubble. Well, that's no good. Can I climb into your mouth? I guess not. That's annoying when a giant face blocks the stairway, I will say that. But yeah, this is why I need like a dive through water button, something like that, you know? What's going on over there? Oh, flamingos! Oh, that's an animal we haven't seen yet, that's sort of water-based. Having said that, again, I don't really associate flamingos with pools, but I guess these... No, you would. You would associate this with a pool. You'd call one Frank. After, of course, the Finnish hip-hop sensation Kadia, which I'm going to just reference in all of my videos now. But obviously, anyone following him will know that when on holiday, he made friends with a poolside toy flamingo, which he took on several journeys. So, I think that's a reference that everyone will get, and that we can just move along from that one, because obviously I don't need to explain that one. I kind of want to go all the way up the stairs, but at the same time, I feel like you can't really make a wrong choice. Oh, having said that, though, this feels like... This place feels big. This place feels very large. There's another set of stairs here. Ooh. Regular doors. Yep. Can't open these, but I'm willing to try a couple. We haven't seen windows yet. There's nothing to look outside, so that's exciting. I don't know if any of these regular doors are going to open. We've got so many stairs to choose from, so it's obviously a bit difficult for me. With this many options. A ladder going down. This is gonna be a nightmare. This is gonna be the chapter that breaks me. This is gonna be the chapter that takes 2 full days. Because they've put 100 doors in here. Infinite staircases. And I will try as many as I can, but I think I will also not realize when I'm in a loop of doors. I will say this door probably doesn't lead anywhere, but there is so many. This is such a big place. Oh my goodness. Are we gonna go all the way upstairs? It's gonna take days. Are we actually at the Escher spot? Have we reached Escher levels? Escherian? Would we be able to use the cool gravity effects to cross these kinds of places? There's so many toilets placed haphazardly all around. There is reachable flamingos. That is an important one to take note of. So far, all the other flamingos have seemed a bit distant. And I would like to touch one of the flamingos, please. But I think I need to go through the blue slide or take the correct staircase. So we're going to look for a blue slide. So far, that's worked out every time very well. Are these all doors or are they just fun gas effects? Oh, that time it turned into a door. That's exciting. But the blue slide was right there, though. But at the same time... When a gas monster gives you a door to go through, it's sort of hard to say no. How hard is it to say no? Because this would almost certainly lead me to a flamingo, but it also leads me to a series of backtracking that I don't really want to do. So we're going through the gas monster door instead. I think that's the wise decision. Of all the things I've said out loud, I think that one goes for... wise decision number 1, into the black and white room with some more haunted creatures. Yeah, good. Oh, the slide going into the mouth, that is lovely. With some great tuba music. You could argue that every slide in a pool is just one big tuba. Tuba might not be the right word. I think it's more like brass instrument. It's probably the correct terminology to be using here. But were I a giant mannequin head in a poolside area and a pool slide was coming out of my mouth, I think it's safe to say I would try to blow air out of my lungs to play it as a tuba, because I think that would just be very exciting. I think all of these doors don't work, which is unfortunate, because it takes me a long period of time to reach the door. But if ever you are in a pool and you suddenly hear coming out of one of the slides, you have to assume that's me. And that I've started a new life as sort of like a pool tube man. Which... I haven't really considered as a choice before, but now that I'm put into these situations with a lot of haunted creatures and haunted men, I can't really say that it's the worst decision I can think of. This is quite the sculpture. You would see this in a museum. This is actually pretty cool. It's very unusual. This is just actually just like a piece of art with the occasional fart monster, and I appreciate that. This could lead me to a flamingo. It could lead me to the next chapter. Yeah, it did. All right. Chapter 4 completed. I think we have 2 left. I don't know what's going on there. My character is sort of spinning around. We have a lot of bricks. These might be like the rubber bricks that you sometimes see in TV shows. It might just also be a lot of bricks. Feasibly, one could call this many bricks. We're gonna keep walking. I'm very thirsty. I will say, I have a glass of water with me, but this game, I'm realizing that walking through pools on a day that's actually quite hot, because, you know, summer's pouring in. The amount of water that this game is giving me is making me kind of thirsty. How long have we been playing? 1 hour? Oh, this clock's not moving. Never mind. I thought we'd been playing for 1 hour, but no. Can we go through this? I kind of figured the brickwork being destroyed earlier was a hint to indicate that we will be able to crush through bricks like the Kool-Aid Man. But, well, to be fair, I didn't say, oh yeah. And also, it's not really, like, that much of an indicator. It's more just that bricks exist in this world, I suppose. It's sort of... It foreshadows bricks, and I think it did a very good job at that. Because I found bricks. You know what I would enjoy? Well, the manhole, for one. There's some games... There's a lot of games. There's many games. But in a game like this, where sound arguably is one of the most important things about it, I wouldn't mind if more textures made different sounds. But at the same time, bare feet are in beta, so I guess, I don't know, maybe it's just a tough one to do the sounds for. I don't know, because it's made in Unity, and I don't know if you could easily map footstep sounds to like a material or something like that. I've never made a game. I'm not filled with knowledge about this kind of stuff. I'm just thinking out loud, which is sort of the premise of many years of making YouTube videos. I'm just thinking out loud. Can I get into the donut from here? That'd be so cool. Get in there. Ah. And now it's become very difficult to recreate this because the donut has moved. And it will... Well, it might not keep moving. I really want to get into this donut. If I sort of just place this against the wall, that might actually be the easiest way to do it, right? So I definitely lost my train of thought once I realized the potential of being able to jump into the middle of a donut. But... yeah, I need to make a game at some point. I guess that's sort of what I'm getting at. I need to actually just create a very simple 3D game just to answer a lot of questions that I have. But I also don't know if creating one game would be enough, or if you really have to explore sort of the main sort of standard game engines and see if they work differently from one another. Like I've played around in some level editors in my day, but I haven't really fully experienced some of these things, you know? Alright, let's try this again. Get in there. Well, I can land on top of it, and it creates fun physics. Unsure if we can reach the middle. We're trying this one more time. Main reason is so I can cut that part of the video out and have a sip of water. But obviously it's mostly the donut thing. Alright, final attempt. Donut. Do we win or lose? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've made it on top of the donut. We got donut physics now. We can walk around as a donut. Finally. The true experience. We've lost it. Alright, well, but at least, to my surprise, we can sort of float around in the donut. if you're willing to use your imagination a little bit, because it was a bit tricky to do. I will also say, I think slopes are sort of treated as stairs in this, which is why the movement of that particular section was kind of unusual, and maybe also the reason why so few slides are leading into... Well, this can't be safe. Are leading just into like a wall rather than a slope, because I feel like the slopes aren't great. But what do I know? I also feel like putting an electrical box above your pool is bad. But at the same time, maybe it's not an electrical box, but just a toilet tube. Upon which, obviously, it's no longer an issue. I was ready for that to open up and just suck me into chapter 6, but it didn't. We've made it to a school. I don't know why this would be a school. It's... we've made it to a wooden structure. That's exciting. Occasionally, the sounds of creaking wood, or a person, or a ghost. Omnipresent all around us. It's so pretty. Like, actually, taking a moment to appreciate stuff like this. It has wonderful scenery, this. It also obviously has a lot of stuff going on where it's like, this is eerie and unusual and I want to get out of here. But some of the areas are just lovely. They really look nice. Cannot help but appreciate this. Zero regrets with going into pools. I'm glad that I saw it literally months ago and thought, I need to what is this? And yeah, it has sort of been that kind of experience. It's very much like a what is going on kind of experience. I am missing like most of the achievements in this game, so I think there's also just a lot to explore that I have missed by just taking different paths and whatnot. I'm kind of curious what the other achievements are. I could check it out later, but for now we've reached the Escher area that I was talking about. Oh, can I go through there though? Obviously. The obvious choice, but it was to no avail. I mean, we've seen gravity happen, so maybe we can just go sideways? No, unfortunately not. Would be cool. Would be cool. I haven't really played a game where you go through sort of Escher-like areas in 3D. And this game sort of figured out its gravity. And it does allow you to sort of revisit this room again and go through a different door that way with the gravity shifted. I feel like there's potential there. I feel like there's like good... Is this a room we saw earlier? It might be. Only the guy's standing up now. Seems to be missing most of his head. That's cool. Oh. Slope? Oh, yeah. Like, this is cool. I think these kind of gravity effects, I really like these. And I've seen them in maybe 4 games in my life. Like, the obvious example that I always have is like the original Serious Sam, the first encounter. Then you have like Prey from 2007, whichever year it came out. And then I want to say something like Antichamber and stuff like that. I don't actually... It's been so long since I've played Antichamber that I actually don't fully recall. Performed a dive worthy of an award. Yeah, I did that. I deserved that achievement. But it's such a rare mechanic. And it's likely... for video game reasons, especially when you consider stuff like the HD remake of Serious Sam no longer having those gravity effects. And it's probably just a difficult effect to create. I guess you have Mario Galaxy. I don't know how that one didn't even cross my mind, but I guess you also have gravity effects in that. But that was also just a fun game. And it's, yeah, I'd like to see it used more frequently. I wish I had a crouch button. I do not. But yeah, fair enough, I suppose. I mean, it's nice to see it now and then as well. I guess it's also kind of nice that it's not like super overused, so every time you do see it, it's like a special little treat for whatever game you're playing. But yeah, it's unusual that it's such a rare thing, because I mean, we're just literally in the back rooms now, I guess. But yeah, I'd like to see it more. But out of all the games I've played in life, I suppose this one is as good a contender as any to just, why not put some gravity effects in? It seems like, though, we've reached a lit up pool. Maybe without haunted men. Maybe this is just a pool. Actually, you know what? I'd be okay with that if they just put, like, finish the game with just a pool. just your run-of-the-mill non-haunted pool. That I'd be okay with that, but then I just sort of appreciate the vibe that a pool brings. I don't fully know why a pool is sort of constructed the way it is. Generally, it's not constructed like this, I suppose, but the sort of, you see these kinds of stones and you're like, alright, I'm either in a bathroom or a pool. And there's nothing really in between, and I can sort of appreciate that you know what you're in for when you see an environment like this. You're like, instantly it's like, yeah, pool section. Did I see this place before? I feel like I did in a different chapter. Not super sure, but it got the vibes of like a sequence of tubes that I feel like I've seen before. There's a lot of copper. So any copper enthusiasts that might be enjoying a game while walking around, we got you covered. The yellow slide, I feel, would have been a good choice to going where I want to go, because this is a lot of walking. I don't know what this means. I don't know if this means green pool is exit or if we're about to run into Shrek's teeth, but either way, it might be a hint. It's a tough one to read, I'll tell you that much. It's kind of like the sort of circly one. Yeah, alright. Down the hole we go. Into the horror dimension. Are you? Yeah, this is good. I don't know if it wants me to follow green. Maybe that's what it was getting at. If I just keep going towards green, I'll find a way out of this place. But then you give me something like this, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to walk into the nothing there. Oh, this, yeah. You know what I was saying about pools? Yeah, this doesn't give me much of a pool vibe anymore, I'll tell you that much. This gives me the vibe of a headache. It sort of gives me the vibe of those pictures you look at and then they move when you look at the middle of the circle, and then yeah, that would describe that as the vibe. Also, sometimes you'd get your picture taken in sort of a weird forced perspective thing where you have one person in one side of the room, one person in the other, and one looks real big. Like that kind of vibe. Like I'm about to see like something real big. I'm also like 90% sure that if you just actually spend some more time exploring this game, there's gonna be all sorts of little hidden things here and there. But then also there's a squeaky escalator here, so obviously I'm gonna stop moving and just let myself get taken to the green dimension. Cause, you know, we've been walking around for a while, largely through water. And, I appreciate a little bit of rest. Just a nice little experience where we can look around And I'm just trying to send a text message while we're on. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking at the game right now. I'm not looking at this haunted creature looking at some deck chairs. I'm just looking at my phone instead. But the vibes are correct. The vibes are correct. Just telling someone I'm recording something right now, and then we are good to go. Obviously, that's staying in the video. It's very important that everyone knows my business. There's a phone there and a boat. I have not yet seen a little crocodile. And that's the first boat I'm seeing. I've seen a phone booth before I've seen... before I've seen a boat. Which is, it is kind of unusual, I suppose. Let's listen to the radio signals. What language is that? No idea. Based on one of the achievement names, I'm gonna say Nordic. And we'll just leave it at that. Just somewhere up nords. Alright, we made it to the green room, and so that's where the exit was, maybe. Oh yeah, yeah, we're not going in there. Actually, it's the first door I've been able to open in a while. We are going in there. What's going on over here? More pools? Seemingly. Yeah, let's go down here. What was that painting? I want to see the... I'm stuck in an animation. I can't move. Oh. Oh, good. Lovely. Exactly the kind of space I was hoping to reach. Let me just Wile E. Coyote myself into this wall and see where it takes me. It seems like there's something behind it, but it might just be more pool. Oh, it's paint? Oh, it's paint from the light. Right, yeah. I figured out the puzzle. Don't worry, everyone. This is such an unusual experience. I love it. What? Oh, I love this song. It's called I Hope YouTube Doesn't Copyright Strike Me. I was really hoping for that door to open. Not gonna lie, a little disappointed. I was ready to go into a house and go down a slide and get back into the water that way. Maybe we can go up the slide? I guess that's one thing I haven't really tried. This slide will take me into the house. This slide has killed me. It was a trap, you see. Fine. We'll just walk towards the next area. Onto the graveyard. Ready to fall down into the pit. Weirdly, no pit. Do you want me to try all of these houses? It's a lot of houses, but it's a lot of houses that have pools. I'll try one. I'll try one pool. But obviously I don't have the patience to go through every single house. Yeah. Because if there's no ladder on the outside of the pool, then I think that just instantly means tis a death pool, which is how they got to the name of the famous character. It had nothing to do with the story that literally tells you in the movie and likely the comic books. Oh yeah, this is horrible. Yeah, just your standard kind of pool stuff. Chapter 6? Yes. And we're in a house. Okay, well, ultimately, I did get what I wanted. Because I wanted to go in a house, and now I am in one. The method upon which I entered this house, little unusual. That scared me so much. Oh god, well played. All you need is a hand. And that's good. Yep, another pool. Back into the pool zone. Yep. Haunted man, tubes coming out of the mouth. That's how they fill the pools. Very nice. Terrible radiator. It's very rusty. You're probably gonna need to replace that before it starts leaking. Just like brown liquid all over the place. I've had that happen once and it was very annoying. Nice checkers board in case we want to play some checkers. There's a chair over there upon which we could look through some windows over yonder. Ah. Exactly the kind of house I wanted to explore. What is that? Is that a nice chair? Have we finally been given a nice chair to put our buttocks in? To finally have a sit and look at whatever symbol this is that I've seen in so many places. Finally, a soft chair. 17 deck chairs later. We've reached soft chair zone. I mean, it's likely this is death, but at the same time, I kind of want to jump down. But I mean, it's just a void. We've seen it happen before, you know? But what if we have to know? Maybe there's secrets. Nope. Nope, nope, that just took me really far back. It takes you like slightly further back than I would like. Every time. Every time it's like, please, just take me a little bit less far back. It's also sort of like the main reason why I'm not as worried about a monster is because of that rewind mechanic. Like, even if there was a monster, what is it gonna do? Just put me in rewind state? But at the same time, it would be such a good way to end the game. Suddenly, the mannequin head, blah, or a duck, a flamingo, a boat. You know, there's a couple characters in this game that we've met along the way. A donut. I think this room's actually in the trailer. So it does sort of mentally prepare you for the existence of donuts. I'm curious about one thing. Which is, can I get a donut into the void? But I think this could be tricky, because it usually requires a second wall. Maybe if I sort of push it on the edge here. This is very important. I obviously cannot leave this game without knowing about donut physics fully. Because if I don't know about donut physics, then what have I learned? The reflection of this donut, again, actually does seem to be the reflection of the actual room, and that surprises me. But I feel like if I take enough donuts out of the water here, like with a second donut, surely I can push the first donut? This is very important. Without knowing this, we won't have even played pools. But at the same time, I'm not really sure how I managed to get the one donut there, so it's a bit fiddly, to say the least. Yeah, this could work. If I then just sort of... I could create like a staircase. I don't want to create a staircase. I've had sort of enough at this point already. I want to go home. We're not creating a staircase. I think there's potential there for silliness, is all I'm saying. I think there is circumstances for buffoonery. But I don't want to. I've seen enough. Let's just put ourselves into the coal next to haunted creature over there. Is that a deck chair? Yes. Nope. No, it's a person. Person or object. You know how to do it. But we're moving on. We're gonna see the end of this. I've committed too much. I don't know how long I've been playing. An hour and 35 minutes? That's not too bad. Because we are running basically the entire time. There's very few times where I've really stopped to appreciate the scenery, and I feel like I probably should have done it more. But I didn't. Mostly just been running, partially due to fear, partially just to see what the game has to offer. And yeah, quite a lot of it is walking. To put it simply, there is a decent amount of walking going on in this game, you see, as you might have realized. But I mean, I kind of figured as much before starting this journey, I suppose. There is a ladder there. There's a chance this isn't death. Obviously, I chose wrong, but what if can I climb the ladder? I can. But to what extent? Because I feel like this is also just going to make me fall down in it. Well, I can, oh. So I can climb back up, but I'm already dead. Which leads me to believe that you could probably get yourself in a death loop if you climb up and down the ladder correctly. But it's also something I not particularly want to test, and also, that's exciting. That's a big buzzsaw above this fun slide. Lighting change. How much more pool can you put in pools? I don't know. I will again say, lovely experience. Absolutely. It's sort of a rough one. I wouldn't recommend watching this. I would recommend just trying it. But it's sort of a tough one to say at the hour and 37-minute mark, I suppose. Probably a little bit less since I'm gonna have to edit out a little bit. But you get the idea. I've been playing this for a while, and it's sort of hard to recommend this in a video when you're this far in, and I feel like we're nearing the end of the game where the entire village has been put underwater, the music has stopped working. The electricity of the houses still works. Because I guess they're using the same lighting systems for these houses as they are for the rest of the pool. And you do need to be a little bit safe to not accidentally electrocute all your pool goers. Generally appreciated, I think. You don't electrocute everyone. But at the same time, even if you have seen this video, I think in chapter 1 we were kind of thorough, and then after that, that basically fell apart instantly. So I think there probably is like a decent amount of vibes to acquire in this game. So I'd be very surprised if I've seen it all and that it just all sort of loops into itself, especially knowing there's still just like a decent chunk of achievements. There's a pillow there. So there's probably some stuff to uncover in this world, which I'm almost certainly not going to find myself. Yeah, the entire place is flooding. Shouldn't have followed that hand. It really brought me to a place where everything's just turning into pools. I guess that's how this world was created. It was just an ordinary world, but eventually people followed the hands, and then everything became pools. And then the ladder goes up, and then the game goes into a black screen, and then the credits roll. That was my prediction of the end of the game. I was wrong. I don't have to be wrong. There's a chance I'm wrong. But ladders have been pulled away from me in the past. I'm ready for it to happen again. Like, the atmosphere in this is incredible. It is so good. If you like pools, well, I'll tell you, this game got some pools. If you like rubber ducks, there's a few. You like donuts? Oof. The fun never stops. If you like soft jazz, weirdly, there's a little bit. But I think I'm ready for this game to end. I wouldn't mind calling it a day, but I think I am very, very close to the end of it as well. Which is why we keep walking. 'Tis why we persevere. I don't know if the stinky gas creatures ended up being more than a door. And maybe one's gonna kill me in a second, or turn me into one of the haunted pool people. Or maybe it's just a fun little visual effect that they add along with all the other stuff, you know? Ooh, look at that chair though. We haven't been able to sit in one of these. Whoa. One of them dining room chairs right there. And a sofa? Yeah, you got my attention. What is that? A sheep? Friend? Quiet friend? I was gonna sit on the sofa, but then... A goat. Sheep. Creature? Oh, well, there I am. I guess we're going... I guess we're riding the sheep. I didn't really anticipate this to happen, but... Yeah, it's just a little guy. Alright, cool. What's up, sheep? Tell me your pains. I forget if sheep can swim. It's sort of one of those questions that doesn't really occur to me very often due to a lack of sheep in my life. But now that we are in this room with a singular sheep in a pool, I feel like it's a pertinent question to ask if you need help. Imagine if the sheep's the monster, that'd be great. Imagine if it's a sheep jump scare and... I don't know why I so desperately want there to be a jump scare. It's fine not to have one. It's fine to just have atmosphere. To just feel uncomfortable for a while and then the game ends. Ooh. It's the haunted people room. We are gonna become one of the haunted people. Lovely. It's water powered? That's smart. In this economy, with the materials we have at hand, it makes sense to use water. Smart thinking. Smart thinking. I feel like there's a lot of lights in this hallway, which I haven't really felt that much before. I feel like there was an appropriate amount of lights for the most part, but that room in particular felt like it had a lot going on. Because this room doesn't. Well, it has one light. It has one big light, and it does the job pretty well as well. So previously I complimented the place on their checkers board, and now we are probably in a chess game, but it could... I was gonna say, can it be checkers? But no, it can't, because they're on the wrong squares. So, yeah, good. I've realized I've forgotten how checkers work. You know, they are on the wrong squares for checkers. Never mind. All right, that was several seconds of silence for me to just fully remember how checkers is set up initially. Don't worry, everyone. We're back. we got the knowledge. We can move on. All the pieces move diagonally. You see, they have to be able to touch each other, otherwise the game doesn't end. Because it doesn't end until it's stalemate, or... I'm gonna stop talking about the rules of checkers now. We're done with that. It's a chapter that I'm done with in my life. Oh, hey! The museum. Remember this? With the ducky? Level 1? This might be the painting that I very briefly saw. And I was wondering about that. It might be any of these other ones, admittedly. That's a Dutch flag. So that could be, well, let's not worry about what that... They're definitely not stealing spices. Don't worry about it. Yep. Big hands. Dining room chair. Nah, it wouldn't be the Dutch thing to do to suddenly start stealing a bunch of spices and traveling overseas. Got the eyes of this duck. I genuinely, from a distance, thought this was a head crab, but it's a cat. I can't pet it through the painting. Game sucks. I want to be... I unironically love this painting. I love these eerie paintings of ducks in the background. There's two Garfields. This is literally just Garfield. Garfield and the other character. Nothing. Ducky. I like it. Would that count as copyright infringement? I'm actually not sure. Well, I hate this. We're going through the horrible room. Just everyone close your eyes real quick. We're just gonna have to walk through this. It's the chair room where we're all appreciating. It's a chair. It's a chair room. Yep, hand with scary girl. Everyone please ignore. Don't look at the screen. Brief horror moment over. Back to the pools. We want to become one of the haunted people, but we have to walk through the chair room to accomplish that goal. Sorry. This is why we play games with the lights turned on, because we're easily frightened. Guess we're waiting for the subway now. That's basically how I breathe when I'm waiting for the subway. These will be unusual chairs for like especially this one. This one's just floating. I'd say these are unusual benches for a subway, but again, it might also just depend where you're from. But then usually it's not a bed. It's used as a train. I think that is unusual. Actually, is there someone under there, or is that just it's just a cat, I think. Probably just a cat or a chair. Hey, it's the one from the painting. Maybe it wasn't a chair. Fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Moving on. Cool room. Appreciate it. But again, I need to leave. I need to get out of here. I'm done with copper. It's just a material that I don't want to interact with anymore, and it's causing me a lot of distress. I don't want to see copper anymore. I want to see different materials. I want to see some silver, gold, oregano, like just your standard 3 materials. I appreciate the dining chairs, but I've sat on enough. There was one big one that I couldn't sit on, and quite frankly, it was once again ruined my life. Lovely place. This is the kind of place you'd send your friend a screenshot of, and you'd be like, "Hey, want to play pools? Want to play a game of pools? See who gets out of pools the quickest. See who who's ready to face the horrors of pools." I was kind of seeing if I could get on top of here, maybe, because it does kind of look like you can, but I don't think you can. Oh, that's nice. I was a bit worried that I was going to fall into the void, and I still might. It might still take the ladder away from me. I'm not discounting it as a possibility. I'm also curious if you can climb the ladder from the other side, but at the same time, I'm not that curious. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can. If suddenly someone starts singing about snake eaters, I would appreciate that. If suddenly a creature appears and scares me, if it's the sheep, fair enough. Any other creature, I'd be furious. I've decided that the sheep is the only one that's allowed to scare me. Chairs, you're on the fence. Like, you're kind of scary in the dark. But at the same time, if I sit right here, I might get a spooky massage. Which after a long day of swimming would be appreciated. I feel like I've seen this room before. Never mind. I haven't seen this room before. Oh my god. Well played. Oh my god. That is so well done. When you're finally at the point of like, I've already seen this. I don't need to worry about whatever's gonna happen here. We're just walking back through chapter 1 again. And the moment I incredible. Just phenomenally well done. No notes. Perfect. Just perfect way to destroy my expectations. I can't even be mad. That was perfect. That was specifically tailored to me, and I respect that immensely. God, well played. That's it. Up the stairs we go. Out of the water. To the fun sounds of squish, 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 squish. As we follow the left walls into the most annoying little butt maze that I've ever seen in my life. This is horrendous. But it's very small. Hello, friends. I think I've made it to the happy face statue with the two sort of ducks, I guess. I guess they're ducks, yeah. Do you think these are the same creatures? Mannequins, whatever, from like the other games we've been playing lately? Because they look very similar. But I guess they also just sort of look like standard model, untextured. Just like a guy, you know? He's just a little guy, so... Yep. Normal sound. Just me zooming in and out. The creatures following me from behind, can't go back. You know, it's just a standard. Close the door. Oh, I can't actually move. Oh, can I actually sit down at the table and just enjoy life? Am I a ducky? I can't move it. Yeah, alright. And thus our story ends. It turns out we were just watching a movie all along. The end. What an unusual game. I guess it might not be Nordic, it might be Finnish. Now that I'm looking at the names on display. But yeah, oh my god. Big fan of all of this. It is lovely. 0 notes. I think there's probably still a decent amount to explore. I've had this game stuck in the back of my mind for so long, and it was very much in a way of like, I'm so curious what this is. And I just sort of left it alone, but it is just lovely. I don't know if it has different endings. I'll check for a second what the remaining achievements are, because I'm a little curious for sure. So we got German Song by Free Sound. We got maybe Finnish Radio? Maybe? Which I'm gonna go with. But all in all, absolutely lovely. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very much a game aimed at me. I don't know how we keep getting into the situation of playing games where we just sort of walk around in spooky places. But it is what it is. I'm gonna check the achievements real quick. I've missed 6 hidden achievements. And I didn't get the achievements for not following the most obvious path or hear a whisper in the dark, so I don't know. Oh, there's actually... Looking at the hidden achievements, there's definitely gonna be an achievement for ducks. And I should have checked for it. It is what it is. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm gonna end it here, so I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time when we're playing probably yet another game of walking through scary hallways. Bye-bye.